Hello. So in our first video, we covered declarations of emergency and why local councils feel the need to declare them. It seems pretty obvious now that local councils believe in the anthropogenic global warming theory as they receive funding to act and mitigate against another invisible threat. Mitigation. Let's talk about renewables. In particular, solar panels. We must be seeing more and more investment in this technology on residential homes, solar farms and council-led initiatives, as well as decarbonisation programmes. In November 2023, central government announced changes to permitted development right rules will mean homeowners and businesses will be able to install solar panels on their roofs without going through the planning system. Have you been bombarded recently with adverts like this one coming up and various council-led initiatives? So what are the environmental, ethical and humanitarian impacts of producing solar panels? As consumers, can we be sure that supply chains are free from questionable manufacturing processes? The council leader is also the leader of the Green Party.
Good evening. Thank you to Cabinet members for supporting your residents. And can I apologise to Councillor Jeffrey for missing your talk at the Climate Action Network in Bearsted last month.
With recent changes in policy are now proving that such individuals are fully hooked into the net zero utopian fantasy. China is the biggest exporter of solar panels due to its great abundance of coal stocks. Coal is then used to manufacture polysilicon, which is one of the main ingredients into producing solar panel modules. Back to the chamber, a more conservative councillor questions the cabinet member on recycling and tender criteria assumptions.
What I meant, so in the meeting, we identified that when you're calculating the benefits of solar panels, that they do have an end of life and they are then disposed, and that has an impact on their benefits for the environment because they're quite complicated to dispose of. That was identified in that meeting, and James, whilst been in that meeting, said that the figures did not take account of disposal of new solar panels. So that's what I'm referring to, not the old project.
No, I understand that, but the discussion was about the other contract of the 3 places where we were going to put solar panels in, and not this one. But it can be, we will be using the same assumptions when putting the tender document together as to where the solar panels originate from and their quality, and also whether the cost, whether there's an element to be taken into account of disposal ultimately.
So what's happening here? Are we destroying the lives of habitats, inhabitants and the environment in a bid to save the planet? Let's be sure and make no assumptions. Okay, back to the council chamber. A more humanitarian question. Will this be tolerated in the chamber?
That also consider, I know this is a bit of a side, but will that also consider where they're from and where the silica is created and those sorts of things? Because obviously we know that there are concerns around the region in China that is using a lot of slave labour to produce solar panels.
No, come on, we're ending this now. I think...
As a local resident with similar awareness, I thought it'd only be good manners to go and actually ask the question again.
Following a recent mention of the solar panel topic by a member of a Maidstone Borough Council Scrutiny Committee on the 13th of August 2024 within this council chamber. Question: can the council confirm whether due diligence has been conducted to ensure that the solar panels procured historically and planned for the future are free from forced labour in their supply chains, specifically in reviewing whether the polysilicon used in the solar panels is sourced from manufacturers linked to forced labour practices in the Xinjiang Autonomous Region, China?
Thank you, Mr. I shall have to get back to discuss that with the council officers and send you an email.
Thank you very much.
I will post the answer, if I get one, in the description below. So to sum up, let's make no assumptions. I will read from the leaflet that Heritage Party councillors have produced. What is the real humanitarian impact? The national grid will not be able to cope at peak demand hours with only renewable energy sources, so energy scarcity and power cuts are inevitable. In a blackout, emergency diesel generators will need to be switched on to attempt to support the grid's output. This will increase the cost of our energy supply.